Hi, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Ronda Jackson, and this is The Road to Recovery. Joining me today is Tracy Clark. Thank you for joining us, Tracy.
Thank you for having me. I'm
You're
super
welcome.
excited.
Tracy is with United Credit Education Services, and she is going to give us a very basic tutorial credit education and get us up to speed on where we need to be in 2020 and amidst challenging times. So thank you again for joining us, Tracy. I've been asking guests, like, just for one word to describe the times, one word to describe where we are now. What would your word be?
My word would be concern.
Concerned. Okay, one more sentence. Tell me more.
Well, I am really concerned with where we are right now because there's so many dimensions to what's happening in our lives uh, that could really end in disaster if we are not paying attention to our own self-development.
Right.
And sometimes things get in the way and we're so distracted. And there's some things that I'm, what I'm particularly concerned about is people's personal welfare, their emotional welfare, and their financial welfare.
Yes, yes. And I'm glad you brought that up because the balance between them can be what makes or breaks, for example, our credit score or our, ratings on, under certain different categories, which I'm sure you'll touch on this more or this afternoon. So I guess to say that, what is good credit? I hear people say that all the time. What's good credit?
Well, actually, good credit is anywhere from 700 and up.
Okay, score wise, the
Or
number.
right, yes. But let me break that down a little bit more. To say one has good credit, they have buy-in power. They have the ability to go in and get what it is that they want and not have to pay a lot for it in the end, meaning having high interest rate. So if you can walk into any place, a car dealer, you can go into a realtor office and you have good credit, you can get that ideal car, you can get that ideal home, or whatever the purchase is, you can get those items without having to pay 30, 40, 50% more, or even in some cases, it's mocked up, it's as high as 100% more. So you're like doubling what the price of an item could actually cost, and that's my personal definition and in a layman term way of
Okay.
what good credit is.
No, that was helpful. So, on the road to recovery, one of the things we want to be conscious of is we say information plus implementation equals transformation. So,
Absolutely.
today, if you were to transform our credit worthiness in the slightest, what step would you ask us to take next? Like, say we're fives and sixes and we want to be sevens. What would be the first area of that you would like for us to address?
Well, first of all, you have to be conscious. You
Okay.
have to know what's on your credit profile, right? So you
Okay.
want to pull your credit profile. You want to be able to look at what's real and what isn't real, what the errors are. It could be something as simple as your name being spelled wrong. So that is the first thing. Let's let's get conscious. Let's open up our hearts and our mind to receive this wonderful information by pulling your credit report.
Okay.
And then when you do that, you need to know where to go in order to get help so you can restore your credit.
Okay.
You need to
So
know what to do I'm sorry.
let me ask. So we pulled the report and we're looking at it. And if you're saying if there's anything that's incorrect or inaccurate, we should report that to you, to someone like yourself, or how does that part work?
Absolutely. One of the things you want to do, because I hear all the time, oh, I know how to do my credit. I can write the letters and get my credit card. Sure, you can, but there's so much more to it than just a dispute. So once you pull your credit score, you can look at it, and when you know that your score is at, let's say, 551, and that is not where you want to be, and you know that's going to cost you,
Yeah.
then the first thing you do is reach out to help. And yes, you can reach out to myself for help. And what we're going to do, we're going to evaluate your credit profile. And then we're going to dispute items on your credit profile. And then we're going to guide you through the entire process. What we have is called a protection plan.
Okay.
It's not about just fixing your credit. It's more about educating you, and it's more about putting you on a path so you can use your good credit score when we're done
Uh-huh.
to amass wealth, to use your score to leverage wealth by buying a home or whatever and however you see wealth is in your life.
Okay.
I too like
So
it to be generational.
I love that. And legacy and generational wealth is really important. But I want to backtrack. So we're going to pull the score. No, I'm sorry. First, we're going to get conscious, right? I like how you put that. We're going to get conscious. Then it sounds like next we're going to get educated. And that education comes from sources and resources like yourself at the United Credit Education Services Company. Yes. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, I guess, sounds like we're going to create some sort of plan to, implement or track or, to track our, the wealth goals is a
Right.
way to put it. But what does good credit get us? So we've done all that, we've followed, we've gotten the education, and other than low interest rates, what does good credit get us?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. A lot of people ask me that. Well, you do know that with our insurance, for instance, we're not getting the best rates because of our insurance. We're able to get better rates with insurance. We're able to not have to pay a larger deposit when we are going to get utilities. Uh, Believe it or not, these days, a lot of jobs are pulling credit report. So that alone is telling an employer that you are not worthy, that you may not be responsible. So when you have good credit, that tells an individual or company that you are a responsible individual.
Okay. All right. And so barring any life disasters, and like now, so that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have this conversation is there are people that have been furloughed. They're on unemployment. They're at majorly reduced salaries than previously. How would someone, I mean, would you recommend pulling your report now or wait till you get back to work, or what would be your advice in that arena?
I would not necessarily wait, to be quite honest with you. The business has increased so much during this time where most people are trying to figure out which direction to go. But people are getting conscious, Rhonda, because they're like, I can't be here the next time something happens. So I would recommend, yes, you pull your credit report. It's free. Why not?
Okay.
And then get busy with it, because this is a time in your downtime where you have more time to learn.
Yes.
You have more time to get educated about what your next step. You have more time to plan. So
Okay.
if something happens again, you can take care of it.
I love that. So while we're talking about planning and getting educated, do you mind sharing a resource or your contact information if someone wants to get more information from you?
Of course, my contact information is on Instagram. It's Tracy Solomon Clark, TracySolomonclark.
All right. Thank you for that, Tracy. And then they can, I guess, direct message you or actually connect to your website even from
Absolutely.
there.
You can
Okay.
sign up for our services even there.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So then lastly, business owners and their personal credit versus their business credit, weighing out the two. A lot of times business owners have to be personal guarantors for loans and things like that. Do you have any advice or recommendations around leveraging your business credit versus your personal credit?
Oftentimes, just my experience, because my company, we don't get into the business side of it, business credit,
Mhm.
but I can tell you that initially when you start a business, you have to use your own credit. You have to use your credit to get the business credit. So it still takes you back to making sure that your house is in order and that you have an optimal score, so that when you're launching a business or you have a business, you can start out using that your own personal credit,
Right.
launch that and make sure you get a good interest rate.
Yeah. One of the key words that you said earlier in conversation was protection. So once we get that good credit, is having a format or a plan to protect that credit. And that I feel is really, really valuable. And if the opportunity allows, I would love for you to come back and talk a little bit more. Maybe we can be on Zoom with you with our credit reports in hand.
Okay, I
You help
love
us
it.
kind of navigate and at least interpret it and understand what it's really saying about us. Because from
Okay,
what you're telling me, if my employer is looking at it, the car people are looking at it, the mortgage folks are looking at it, and I kind of want to know what they think of me, right? I want to know this, pretty much just my financial resume, right? My credit report is my financial resume. And just as
absolutely.
easily as we update our LinkedIn profiles, I think you're right. We should be updating our credit profiles as well. So thank you for that.
Right. And also, Rhonda, let me share with you, you mentioned the protection. Under this protection plan,
Mhm.
happens to be the credit restoration, but not only do we help restore, but we also protect. We show you how to protect. We have a privacy protection tool. We also have will and trust, identity theft. We have a plethora of items that go along with getting that score and protecting that score, and then showing you how to leverage your score. We have a network calculator as well. And we have savings goal systems, all sorts of goodies that comes with the protection plan.
Mhm.
So we walk you through the entire process if you so choose to stay in the program.
I love that. And the other thing I really appreciate are the real life testimonies that are on your Instagram page, where you show the houses, the cars, and just
Yeah,
the pieces and the components that people are able to put their wealth back together after using a service like yours. So thank you for that, Tracy. You're
you're quite
definitely
welcome.
service to the
I'm
community.
here to serve. That's
Yes,
what
we
I
know
do.
that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we hopefully invite you back. And
Absolutely. Why not?
and if viewers have enjoyed this video, we have plenty more. Please look, click, subscribe, like, and share the road to recovery. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Rhonda.